SportsBeat.
Anybody try to be dumb? Mitchell posterizes the big. Throwing it down on McGee. Donovan Mitchell is 6'2". JaVale McGee is 7'2". The rim will feel that one tomorrow.
If you felt the ground shake around 9 p.m. last night, there's nothing to worry about. It was just Donovan Mitchell putting JaVale McGee on a poster. Thanks for watching SportsBeat. Hope you enjoyed the game. NFL playoffs and college hoops on the way. But we begin with the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell's averaging 25.9 points on 49% shooting and 56% shooting from three-point line in his last 4 games. That's quite a run. His latest game allowed the Jazz to beat the Lakers 113-95 Friday night. Donovan had 33 points on 14 of 24 shooting, 4 of 5 from the three-point line. The rest of his stat line is also impressive. 4 rebounds, 2 steals, a block, and a career-high 9 assists. Injuries to all 3 point guards on the roster forced Quinn Snyder to use Donovan at the point, and he was outstanding, making his teammates better. Royce O'Neal. He has 17 points and a career-best 5 three-pointers. Rudy Gobert had 12 points, 18 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. Derrick Favors also delivered. He had a double-double, 15 points, 13 rebounds. He and Rudy combined for 11 offensive boards. More on Derrick's rebounding later in the show. As a team, the Jazz blocked 9 shots. Rudy had that amazing swat. And, of course, the block of the game was Donovan, slapping this Kyle Kuzma layup attempt off the backboard. Here's Donovan after the game on his great play the past few games.
You guys had played the toughest schedule in the league to date. You have a stretch, including tonight, 7 of the next 8 at home. And this is about the time you guys got going last year. What do you think will be the key here during this 2-week stretch?
Just keep playing defense. I think that's what really turned it up for us. You know, as long as we keep going around big fella, you know, I think having him back there is a lot. It helps a lot, so it allows us to get in transition and make reads and push and knock down shots.
The Jazz are back in action home tonight against Jim Boylan's Chicago Bulls. They were in the Bay Area last night against the Warriors. Former Jazz man Jonas Jerebko from half court to beat the first quarter horn. Warriors led 43-17 after one. The Bulls' bright spot, Zach LaVine. He's very good at dunking. He's their leading scorer, 23.6 points per game. He had 29 last night, but the Bulls were throttled by the Warriors. Bulls have a 6-game losing streak. Their last 3 losses by double digits. Just 5 wins on the road all season for Chicago. So the Jazz, you know what they need to do. If you are going to the game tonight to watch Jabari Parker, you might be disappointed. It's not because he's injured, but because he's been benched. Jabari didn't even get off the bench in a 35-point blowout last night. He's not played in 12 of the Bulls' last 13 games due to coach's decision. Curious decision, considering the Chicago native signed a 2-year, $40 million contract this offseason. Now to college basketball. BYU hosts Santa Clara tonight. Utah hosting Washington State. The Aggies were in Laramie to take on the Cowboys at 7,220 feet of elevation, trying to bounce back after the heartbreaking home loss to Fresno State on Wednesday. Wyoming is not good this year, but it's always tough to win in the Arena Auditorium. Wyoming jumped out to an early lead. Justin James with 2 of his 27 points. Cowboys up 16-8. Scoring was hard for the Aggies. Jordan Naughton says, "Not in my house." Cowboys were feeling it from 300 Thompson with a triple for a 6-point lead. But the Aggies find their offense. A 19-6 run. Quinn Taylor for 3. And then Sam Merrill just before the half.
Merrill, good if it goes. That'll count.
Merrill had a team-high 22 points. Aggies led by 7 at the break. Second half was the Neemias Queta show. The alley-oop. Great ball movement sets up another easy score for Queta. What a find he's been. And how about the and one? Queta out of Portugal, 14 points. Aggies win by 16. San Jose State on the schedule next Wednesday on the road. Southern Utah trying to build off their upset road win over Weber State, hosting rival Northern Arizona. The dunk of the day courtesy of Harrison Butler. He had 17 to lead the Thunderbirds. This game went back and forth in the final minute. Dre Marin. And one. Clutch shot. With 18 seconds left, SU's up 82-80, but Northern Arizona ties it with 10 seconds left on a layup of their own. It's 82-82. Now it's Southern Utah's turn. Marin for the win. Got it. The Thunderbirds back to 500 on the year, 2-3 in conference play. Top 25 action. Number 1 Duke visiting number 13 Florida State. What a day for R.J. Barrett. 32 points, 4 of 7 from 3. Duke up 9 early, but Florida State would storm back. Phil Kofer with the putback hammer. He had 21 for the Seminoles. Fiondu Kabengele led Florida State with 24, including this alley-oop. They had the lead late until this. 2 seconds left. Nobody guards Cam Reddish. Big mistake. He made 5 threes, including the game winner, 23 points, and Duke survives. Donovan Mitchell's Louisville Cardinals in Chapel Hill taking on number 12 North Carolina. The Cardinals came to play. Stephen Enoch with a one-hand jam. They just outworked and out-hustled the Tar Heels. Enoch again from Kristen Cunningham. Louisville hands North Carolina their worst loss at home in the Roy Williams era. The Cardinals' first win ever in Chapel Hill. All right, coming up next, more from the Jazz and the best of high school hoops this week.
For Dixie State University, the best is yet to come. Go Trailblazers.
History's made in St. George. Big changes coming for Dixie State athletics. What is happening and what it means for the school. Next.
This time, I'm pleased to publicly announce that Dixie State University will officially accept the invitation from the Western Athletic Conference.
It was an historic announcement in St. George on Friday. Dixie State Athletics is making the move from NCAA Division II to Division I, a move that will have a dramatic impact on the school and the community. Dixie State will join the Western Athletic Conference in the 2020-21 season. They'll join the WAC in 13 of 14 sports and compete as an FCS independent in football. Governor Gary Herbert, Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox, an NBA champion and Dixie State alum Lionel Hollins were on hand for the formal announcement. Also on Friday, the school announced a 3-game series with Southern Utah in football, the first game in Cedar City in 2020.
And Dixie State University now becomes the 5th university in the state of Utah to fall under the WAC umbrella, and I think that's a heck of an accomplishment.
And as good as it's been in the past, I do believe for Dixie State University, the best is yet to come. Go Trailblazers.
Rod Zundel was in St. George yesterday for the historic announcement and had an interview with a couple of coaches.
All right, there's Paul Peterson, the head football coach at Dixie State. John Judkins, the head basketball coach. First of all, you've been here 14 years. You've been through the transition from junior college to Division II. Now you're making the jump to Division I. What does that mean for a basketball program here at Dixie?
That means I've been coaching too long at one place. No, I'm excited. I think it's a great day for us. You know, when I played here at Dixie State back in the day, and to see the growth, it's unbelievable. To dream of this. I don't think anybody saw this coming. So I'm really excited for a coaching part of it. I think it's going to be great for recruiting purposes. Dixie State's a great place to go to school. We've seen the growth from going to Division II, how much it's helped that way, and I think it's going to be more that way.
Now, Paul, for the football team, you were coach at Snow Junior College. You've coached in Division I, so you know what it's all about. But what does this mean, and what does this football team now have to do, because it's going to be tough to make that jump and be competitive?
It is a big jump. You know, we've got to do a really good job recruiting this class. We're a little bit behind, so we're going to get out as fast as we can next week. It's been a dead period, but get in these high schools and get Utah kids here on the roster. Super excited, like Coach Judkins, about this transition. It's going to mean a lot to the state and to this community, and we're super excited about that.
And Paul, you're going to have about an extra 25 scholarships now that you moved to Division I.
Right.
That's got to mean good things for Utah kids that maybe otherwise wouldn't be able to stay in the state and play.
For sure, for sure. Compete with SU and Weber State on the same types of kids, and not a better place to live than St. George compared to those other guys. And that's a little jab right there. But really excited to get in those schools, and I know Utah. I got great relationships with the high school coaches and get those kids here.
Have you already made contact and started setting things up for Southern Utah, Utah State, BYU, Utah? You made a call to your buddies?
Yeah, absolutely. We love to play those guys.
Did they say yes?
We open up with SUU in 2020, in the works with Weber State, NAU, and see if we can get one of those guarantee games with those big schools.
And for you, the natural rivalry in the Western Athletic Conference with Utah Valley, that's just a normal thing.
Yep, that'll be fun. We've already played them the last 2 years. We've played them in an exhibition game. They've been really nice to invite us to come do that. So we feel like we can play with them. We talk about recruiting. I think it's going to be nice where we don't hear, well, I want to go to Division I. I want to see how that works first before I come here. Now I think it's going to open the door for us to get some of our kids early and get some commitments early.
Now WAC doesn't have football as of right now, so you're an FCS independent.
Correct.
Just explain, you have no conference to go to. You got to like BYU, you've got to find somebody to play you.
We got to find a schedule. I think right now some of the teams in the Big Sky are excited to play us. With the transition, it's kind of a harder transition to make. We're going to be really competitive and play those teams, but it's going to take a little bit, make sure we get the right kids in our program. But there's plenty of teams to play out here.
You guys got to be thrilled where this community is taking the Dixie State University athletics and just the whole fanfare and the excitement, right?
Oh, it's exciting. We're really excited for it.
All right. Well, good luck.
Appreciate it. Need it.
Well, last night, the Dixie State men's basketball team hosting MSU Denver. Just before the halftime horn, the ball bounces around. Jack Papenkoff. Actually, that's Matt Conway making a layup. And here's a steal. Dason Youngblood going to go coast to coast. Nice play there. Here's Papenkoff. Beats the first half horn. It was only 19-18 at the half, but that gave them all the momentum they needed. Nice bucket here for the hoop and the harm, and Dixie State would pull away big in the second half. They win this one 69-38. Up next, a milestone for Derrick Favors and a trip back to 1993 for this day in Jazz history. Not only did the Jazz move one game closer to the Lakers in the Western Conference standings yesterday, Derrick Favors is gaining ground on some Jazz greats as well. Yeah, Derrick Favors moved into fourth place all-time for rebounds in franchise history with 3,979. Bumping Greg Ostertag to fifth. Sorry, Greg. He sits behind John Stockton at 4,051. Should catch him this season. Then at second place, Mark Eaton at 6,939, and he's never going to catch this guy. The all-time rebounds record belongs to the mailman, 14,601. Only 72 more to catch Stockton. Bet you didn't know that Stockton's the third rebounder in Jazz history. It's pretty interesting. All right, Jeff Malone had 21 points for the Jazz in a game back in 1993. The Miami Heat and Utah Jazz, January 12th, 1993. Remember his old step-back one-foot jumper? Oh, sweet. 5 seconds to go. Jazz down 2. Larry Kraskowiak, that's right. He ties it up. Coach K, he had 16 in the first overtime. Harold Miner, the 3 to send it to double overtime. But the Jazz would hang on in double OT and win this game 125-122. Always enjoy those blasts from the past. All right, the Jazz next 2 games, the Pistons and the Clippers. So let's check in on both teams right now. Blake Griffin back in Staples Center. Steve Ballmer wants to say hi. Blake's having none of it. Oh, man, and you know, Griffin had something to prove today. Playing like a man with a vengeance. Takes it himself. Then in the third, the crowd's seen this a few times. He's still got it. Montrezl Harrell still carrying on Lob City for the Clippers. 3-point game in the fourth. Reggie Bullock with 3 for the Pistons. Jazz fans saw too much of that last week. Pistons get the win. Ooh, nice road win for the Pistons, 109-104. Up next, dunks, and more dunks from some of the best high school players in the state. Also got a buzzer beater next. Now to high school basketball, we start with a great matchup. Westlake ranked 4th in the Deseret News Top 20, taking on defending 5A champ Olympus, ranked 5th. Tuesday night was when this game took place. Westlake was undefeated, hosting one-loss Olympus. First quarter, Jeremy Dowdell in transition. Titans up 27-14 after one. Second quarter, Westlake's Jared McGregor gets hot. The 3-ball. Thunder rally to make it a 4-point game at the half. Final seconds of the third, Austin White banks it in at the buzzer. Still a 6-point Olympus lead. We'll go to the fourth quarter. Dowdell, one of the best scorers in the state, if not the best, his 5th 3 of the game. He led everyone with 33. McGregor answers on the other end. Another 3. He also had 5 of them. Go to the final seconds. Westlake down 2. They have to go the length of the floor. McGregor for the win. Oh, it's off iron. McGregor with 19. Rylan Jones added 21 for Olympus. They hand Westlake their first loss of the season. Westlake in another drama-filled affair Friday visiting Copper Hills. Grizzlies jumped out to a quick lead. Trevin Alfrey with a block. Says, get out of here. Followed it up with a 3. Finished with 19 points. Stone Hutchings adds to the lead. But late in the second quarter, down 10, Westlake starts to climb back into this. Tanner Pepke, he's good. Then Graydon Fawcett. Thunder close out the half on an 8-0 run to cut the lead to 2. This game goes to Copper Hills after 3 overtimes. End up winning this one 95-86. Wasatch at Maple Mountain, final seconds of the first quarter. Golden Eagles go full Joe Ingles.
Maple Mountain with 2 seconds on the clock. Logan Green's have to let it go.
Launches.
Three-quarter court. Oh! He got it from three-quarter court.
He splashed that down like a big man at a belly flop contest.
Belly flop contest. Of course, that one counted. Joe's didn't last night. Logan Green with a shot. Fourth quarter, we have a tie game. Green lays it in for a 2-point lead with under 2 minutes to play. On the other end, Wasatch answers right back. Ethan Wood goes to work inside and one, but he would miss the free throw. We're tied at 46, and that's how it would stay till the final second of regulation. Green, with 8 seconds left, drives, turns it over. Wasatch with a chance, but Will Harris is called for traveling with .3 left on the clock, so we head to overtime. And in overtime, Harris totally redeems himself, knocks down the 3. A little later in overtime, Harris lands Gehring in the corner, put Wasatch up 9. They outscore Maple Mountain 15-3 in OT. Harris and Gehring finished with 18 for the Wasps. Region 7, Corner Canyon at Brighton. Chargers, Gabe Toombs. 3 ball. Corner Canyon led by as many as 5 early. Final seconds of the quarter. Bengals forced a turnover. They're going to lay it in. It's a 3-point game after 1. Let's go to the second quarter. Luke Kraskowiak goes to the hoop. He had 16 for Brighton. They were tied at 33 at the half. Third quarter, Toombs and 1. He had 32 for Corner Canyon. Still in the third quarter, Brighton down 2. Kraskowiak banks in the 3. And the foul, a 4-point play, and Brighton never trailed again. The Bengals get the win in their house, 66-62. They are now 10-3 on the season. All right, Wasatch Academy is ranked #1 in the state and #7 in the country, according to Max Preps. They were supposed to play second-ranked American Fork on Friday, but AF canceled the game because of injuries. So Wasatch played the Tigers, they played Tooele instead, and props to the Buffs for taking on this challenge. The Tigers lived above the rim in the first quarter. Matty Sissoko throws it down. Tristan Enaruna goes baseline for another slam. They're #7 in the country for a reason. Then Trey Williams, the steal, and you guessed it, the slam. This is still the first quarter. Sissoko on the alley-oop. He led the Tigers with 21. Final seconds of the quarter, Williams with the inbound. Enaruna tips it in at the buzzer. Second half, more of the same. Enaruna, another dunk. These guys can play. Wasatch Academy with a 110-44 win. High-flying Kearns visiting Granger. First bucket of the game. Emmanuel Andrew, the putback. He's going to play at New Mexico when he's done at Kearns. Another putback there. They're up 6. An 11-point lead in the first quarter. Keeps dunking. They'd actually go to overtime this game, but Kearns would hold on to beat Granger 76-71. Bountiful and Viewmont in the third. Braves up 11. Cameron Chisholm makes it 14. Then check this out from Robert Whaley Jr. The left-handed jam. He was fouled, but impressive dunk from the sophomore. Braves beat Viewmont 58-53. Region 1, Weber at Fremont. Fremont started the second quarter on a 12-0 run. Weber gets a bucket there. But later on, Fremont with a little 3-ball action. Dallin Hall. Final seconds of the half. Hall's going to drive here. He's going to miss. But the layup is tipped in at the buzzer. Silverwolves outscore Weber 22-3 in the quarter. More Hall in the second half. Another 3. Hall 23 points, 10 rebounds. Fremont wins 64-39. Thanks for watching.